Now I am. Okay.
All right, make your announcement.
Yeah. And whoever was listening is now donating $2,500 for the cause. All right, so international services, Tracy.
Yes, I went to the board meeting last night. I finally made it. I think it's been about 4 months. The group that went to Honduras in earlier May, they basically went down to evaluate what projects are in progress and what do we need to do. The flood really wiped out a lot of the latrines, and lots of books were lost from the hurricane. So still trying to clean up from that. They did get these villages got a lot of help from the government, kind of, I think, but there's a lot still that IPA is pushing forward. So it was really exciting to hear. They had a huge list of things that need to be done in each village. So Lake Stevens has adopted the Rio Amarillo village. And one thing that they need is they need a bodega repaired and painted, and they're estimating $1,140. So Chris, you'll have to verify. By my calculations, the International Committee has $2,474 yet to spend. We need to spend it by June 30th. So I watch your emails. I'll be sending out suggestions to the International Committee. If you don't get an email from me, then please reach out to say, hey, am I on your committee? So been still trying to put that together. There are still 132 students not sponsored. Most of them are middle school, so that's $180 a year for a commitment of 3 years. There are some high school students still at $280 a year. If you know of anybody else that you would like to put in contact with this, they don't have to be Rotarians. These students, if we can just give them a little bit of help, they can go so much farther than with help, they can go so much farther. So if you have it in your heart, if you aren't already, please reach out to me and I'll get you connected. That's all I have. Thank you. And I'll be signing off in a little bit here. So.
Okay. Well, happy anniversary to you and Dave.
Thank you much.
Have a great weekend. Interact, Kristen.
Hello there, everybody. I was really hoping to join you today, but I wasn't sure about getting to school on time. So maybe I'll be there in June anyway. So we had another hybrid meeting yesterday. We had one new member join us, which was lovely. We are having the street cleanup on Saturday, and I was wondering if any Rotarians are going to be able to join us. Could you let me know, please? Anybody?
Bueller?
Yeah. Kristen, if you'll send me an email, date and time, I'll send out a club email.
Okay, so 9 o'clock on Saturday, tomorrow morning at the high school. And kind of an exciting announcement, Lake Stevens Interact won the Together Against Bullying Award from PACER for the work that we've done to inform people about strategies to work against bullying. So I'm really proud of my kiddos. So they don't know that yet. I just found out on Wednesday after our meeting. So it will be a surprise to them. So I'm excited for that.
Nice job.
Great job, Kristen. Thank you. I saw the QR code for logging into meetings. I thought that was ingenious. Great job. Vocational, Lance. Sir Lancelot.
I'll do short today. Just as Ken mentioned, next week we're going to have the students that receive scholarships and families join us for the meeting. I think I'm going to have them each say a little bit during the meeting, and I will send out the list of recipients to the club just so you can see the names and the amounts that we were able to give this year. We have 3 specific scholarships. We have chosen who would be the best for the Gregory Maston Memorial. I'm talking to Sam right now by email so that he can choose the person that might receive his scholarship. And Lauren, if you're in the room, we had 1 vocational recipient, and so I'm guessing and assuming, you can tell me yes or no, that they would be the one that would receive the scholarship that you have donated.
We're good with that.
Okay, all right, well, I'll send it out to the club and looking forward to next week.
It's going to be awesome. And so we can have each of the students pinned on the screen when they talk. I think it'll work out great. Lance, are you going to be here in person, or are you going to be from a distance next week?
Why don't we talk? I don't know which will be better for me to coordinate. For me to see all the students on my screen at home is what I'm thinking at this time.
Let me ask you this. Can you see all the other participants on the screen right now? Can you see Sam and Kristen? And you can't?
Yes, yes. And then the one picture of the room.
Okay. Right. Okay. So I think if I just know that where you're going to be, I think I can work it out.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, Lance. Public relations, Rochelle. No more Rochelle? She's selling houses. Okay. I see Cynthia and Dave on. Hi, Cynthia and Dave. I just wanted to say hi. John, there's John.
Hello, sorry, I was on mute.
That's okay. Just saying hi. All right. Foundation, Jim.
Everything's great.
Super duper. I'm going to turn it over to the fleecer in chief, Mr. David Johnson. Can you hear me, David?
Yeah, I can hear you. Well, good morning, everybody. Pretty good. But I'm betting we can do better than that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, let's see if I can remember what I'm supposed to do.
I know.
You're starting off wrong. You're supposed to do the raffle first. That's what you're supposed to do first.
Raffle.
See? So long. Thank you so much. I'm ready. All right. I don't think that's how it works. I appreciate the effort. Would you kindly pull a ticket and read the last 3 numbers?
Do not be upset.
Don't let me down, Lorrie. Please, what are these letters?
847.
Come on.
How is that possible? How is that possible?
I won.
Unbelievable.
I won.
Kristen has it.
There is. Whoa! Wow!
Yeah, I have to pull a duck now to see if he wins the pot.
I need massive help. See this 5? You don't get it. Get him on. Black bottom duck.
That surprises me. He always wins. You're a winner, Lauren.
See, what do I know? Don't put it away. Man, I haven't got anything right yet. At least I'm consistent, huh? All right, how much time would our speaker like for her presentation?
It just depends on questions due afterwards.
I'm sorry?
It depends on questions due afterwards. So, I'm, whatever time you guys are available.
20 minutes enough?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The more time you give us, the more time.
I heard that, give me a minute.
Are you going to need to put something up on the screen? Okay.
Let's see here. So we have a tradition in this club.
What is it, Mr. Johnson?
It's a little known tradition. Actually, it's a new tradition.
as of today. But we have 3 new members. And the tradition is, for your first meeting, following induction, you get a new member fine. $1,000. And your mentor.
Welcome to, yeah, no kidding.
Who is your mentor?
I guess, maybe Gary or Ken. Yeah.
It's me.
All right.
All right, that's a fine for Ken.
Where is he?
I'm getting coffee.
Where's Gary? What? You didn't tell them about the $1,000 fine. So they joined under false pretenses.
No, you joined under.
The wizard.
I heard your name mentioned.
For the new members, bring money each week.
Thank you, sir.
Ryan has this one.
Oh, okay. Did you just throw him under the bus?
I did.
Okay. Anybody else want to throw anybody under the bus? A wise decision.
I got a self sign. My badge is AWOL.
Your badge is not, see, I've forgotten everything. All right, pins, yes, anybody? No. Pin or a badge? I'm missing a pin, I guess.
Hey, you know?
Oh, you know what? I am missing a pin.
Anybody else
Sorry,
missing a
Big
pin or a badge?
Yeah,
Your pin and your badge.
Pin or badge?
I missed my pin, but I already put in 5. That's the truth. That's, yeah.
Well, where are your pins? Okay, there's supposed to be one new person, but you may slide. You get special dispensation,
Perfect.
but it won't last long.
David?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw him under the bus.
Oh, please do.
I think his sponsor's Gary.
I'm sorry?
I think his sponsor is Gary, he doesn't have a badge.
Sam, you didn't throw him under the bus.
Why doesn't he have a badge?
Yeah, exactly.
Should work.
I'm sorry?
He's got a badge. It's in the packet. Oh.
It's in the packet.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay.
DJ, I wanna point out that the folks up on the top of the screen are also, them, right up there,
Give me $1.
are also okay to be fined. They can't see it.
I'll check the Venmo.
Oh, they can see
Come on,
it.
throw your
$1. You may never see them again.
May not. All right, where were we? What else? Oh, who was last in? Hey, I remembered one thing. You were
I
last
was
in?
about a minute late.
So here's for not having my badge, not having my pin, last in, and a happy bus for probably all business. During the pandemic.
What?
we started, I finished it.
John was finding himself.
Thank you.
Well. Have I forgotten anything else I'm supposed to do? Am I happy? Am I on track?
So far, you're doing great.
All right. Well, we've got 6 minutes, so I think I'm gonna fine everybody $1 for waiting until the 11th month of the Rotary year to attend the meeting in person. And otherwise, let's do happy bucks.
Oh, I had a couple of those.
Okay, well, let's start here.
We're doing happy bucks too?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're doing happy bucks.
Sorry, I didn't realize that. I have happy 4, because I'm happy, and I don't have money, I'm out of practice.
Wow.
Gee, Gina, wasn't it your daughter's 17th birthday just the other day?
$4 for my daughter's 17th birthday.
It's Friday.
I'm prompting everybody today. Remember, everybody speak up so that they can hear you. Yell.
Happy to be here. I'll give it back.
John's happy to be here. I'm translating.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you. All right.
Because I'm happy to be together with all.
Who else?
$5. My son arrives at 1 o'clock today and will be with me for the weekend.
Okay, I'm happy that, my computer crashed this week, and it turned out to be the hard drive thing. So, we're in the process of rebuilding all the files. So far, so good.
I'm happy to see some of our new members in person rather than just on a little screen. So it's good to see you guys.
Here's some fun, and here's a lot of happy bucks to be here in person. My own.
I'm very happy.
I'm happy. Well, first of all the new members, congratulations. And I was looking around, I was thinking, is there anybody else that hasn't been to an in-person meeting besides our 3 new members? But I think Ryan, this is your first time in our in-person meeting too. So I've got a bunch of happy bucks for everybody.
Happy buck? I don't know, just be this side of the grave. So this is a happy dollar for Lorrie being with us today, and I've known Lorrie for a long time and looking forward to her being here. Nobody likes religious propaganda or political propaganda, so I'm not going to say much about that other than I have a lot of political propaganda out in the car if you want to get some after the meeting. Signs, magnets, T-shirts, whatever you want. And
Jockey shorts?
I'm just happy I didn't get fined. I'm just happy I didn't get fined for talking about political propaganda, so. That's all I got.
Okay.
I'm happy to be out of my house and to see all these smiling faces.
Nice.
Just happy.
Smiling on.
Good to see everyone, and John and I are going boating next week, so looking forward to that.
Oh, that's always an adventure.
I'm happy to see everybody here. I like the room layout. It's fantastic. It's great. Everybody's smiling. Mask on, mask off. Let's keep doing it.
By fine dollar, and I have $5. We are actually, last number of days, we were down at our place on Hood Canal. And we went shrimping and did quite well, and I didn't fall overboard.
There's an extra $1.
I saw it in your hand.
Even the spot out. There you go. Thank you. And I love your hair.
You're commenting about my hair?
I said I love it.
All right, that's my
Well,
$5.
I got 3 happy bucks that kid number 3 graduated from college, and 1 happy buck that he got a game for.
What college did you graduate from, Keith?
Little Harvard of the West, as he likes to call it.
Fight for Washington State, win the victory. Okay, I stopped.
Scott.
Oh, I did. It looks great. I like how it looks.
Well, thank you. I would just like to say that it is my conviction that longer hair and other flamboyant affectations of appearance are nothing more than the male's emergence from his drab camouflage into the gaudy plumage that is the birthright.
Was that improv there?
Abby Hoffman, power to the people, man.
And identify where that came from.
Okay.
Has immunity next week.
Came from you now. I win.
It came from a musical.
Oh.
Immunity next week. And I have a happy 5 because with everybody's help, I figured out what the hell I was supposed to do. Anybody else?
Up here,
Oh, wait, we've got some people up
up
here.
here, I'm happy. I'll give $10. Got the second Moderna shot Wednesday afternoon. Did not feel so well yesterday, but feeling great today. And Sam, I will say I drove around Lake Stevens yesterday and all of your signs are within city code.
I have $5 happy bucks. Just seeing everybody, even though they're tiny little heads in the room, I can kind of figure out who they are, and it brings me joy. So $5 happy. Thank you.
Hey, I'll put in 10 because Lance, the wonderful person he is, came over to my office and helped me move my new pots. And I don't mean pot, I mean planters. My office. And I don't know what I would have done without him. So $10. Yay.
Cynthia, we know that if it was actually pot, you would have had more friends than just Lance.
I got a happy dollar. This week we started on the groundwork at the new food bank site. So they're moving dirt around. We're starting to make some progress.
Yay!
That's great.
I saw that too. Congratulations.
I'll throw in a few happy bucks. This is Angie. I'm, again, like Sam said, just happy to see everybody in that room. Looking forward to joining you guys in a couple weeks when I'm not working so early.
We look forward to having you, Angie. Anybody else on the screen?
I have one last fine for you.
Oh my gosh.
You are like in charge of this whole place, right? You're the president of the club, you're the superintendent of
Not
the
yet,
district?
not till July 1st.
Well, but you're like, okay, you're the superintendent to be.
Okay.
Well, that wall says it's 8:12, but my iPhone says it's 8:08. That clock is fast.
That's right.
You have a week.
I'm Irish, and in Ireland, the trains never run on time. And
That's right.
that's right.
A week.
So that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. All right, Dawn, do you want to introduce our speaker today?
Lorrie Roe is here today, and she's going to tell us a little bit about our downtown Everett FunkO, which is growing a bit, with locations around the country and other parts of the world. So with that,
Thank you.
I was a little bit nervous, but after sitting in here for like a half an hour with you guys are like family, like just cracking up. I do have familiar faces. Sam, my husband and Sam go way back from like their childhood. I think our kids played baseball together, if I'm not correct, for Lake Stevens Little League. I am a Lake Stevens resident, so that's one of the reasons why they sent me. Both my kids go to Lake Stevens. I have a sophomore in high school, and I also have a fourth grader that is at Stevens Creek. So a little bit about FunkO. Who's all been downtown Everett? Have you guys seen the Batman, the big one that's up in the parking garage, and then you have your Spider-Man, your Harry Potter. We've grown a lot lately. Actually, we've grown so much more during COVID than we're kind of surprised. So a little bit story about FunkO. A lot of people don't know. It actually started in Snohomish. Mike Becker, who was the original founder, he started it in his parents' garage in 1998. It started out with him looking for a coin bank, just a little coin bank that they had for Big Boy restaurants. Does everybody know what Big Boy is? Big Boy, Big Boy is it's one of both Mike and our current CEO's favorites. They like the old 50s, Hanna-Barbera. They like the old stuff. When I first started, my sister actually pulled me from another company. She said, come and start working for FunkO. And I was like, what is FunkO? Had no clue. I've seen it. My kids have mentioned it. but to be honest, it's not really a kid's thing. It's an adult thing. So it started out with Big Boy Restaurant, and he couldn't find it. So they started what was the bobblehead. Mike Becker did the bobbleheads. He first got the IP for it. And then the Koi Bank failed to sell the franchise files for bankruptcy protection, and then FunkO remained the business after licensing the rights to the bobblehead. For Austin Powers, when he first started out with the bobblehead, which sold 80,000 units. A lot of people don't think that 80,000 units is a lot, but it is with the price that it costs to make the collector's item and then to sell it. After this, some of the characters of FunkO sold were the Grinch, Tony the Tiger, and Cheerios mascot, and the Honeybee. In 2005, Becker sold the FunkO to the current CEO, which is Brian Mariotti. In 2012, they'd grown so much that he went public. We sold more than 20 million worth of merchandise during that time when we went public. Even though Mike Becker sold the company, he still works for the FunkO and the VP Creative Entertainment. The t-shirts, he's down in San Diego, Coronado area. So he does all of our creative. They are like the best of friends. This is a bunch of friends who got together, who decided to do something that they enjoyed and loved. And it just shows how much of a company can grow when you're doing something that you love. The company sold the fundamental capital of private equity in 2013. And so from there on, it's just grown. So currently, right now, we have the Everett location. We actually have we've kind of taken over that corner of downtown Everett on Colby and Wetmore in California. So we have the main building, what we call this headquarters. You'll have the retail store down below. And then down below that, a lot of people don't realize it's 5 floors. So we have a little area that we have all of our meetings, our lounge area. Then we have the retail, and then we have 3 stories that go up between the different departments. We also have the Colby campus, which is our finance on the corner right across the street from the Mexican restaurant. And then the white building on the corner of Wetmore, we're starting to take that over as well for creative, and then we own the parking garage too as well. That square footage for the retail store is 17,000 square feet. Has anyone ever been inside of it? My kids call it a mini Disneyland. You can go in, you can sit down in the Batmobile and be next to Batman and take pictures. You can go into sets of Harry Potter. You can go into all the Disney area, and then you can go into Marvel, and you can also go into Lucas. And then we also have some of our own IPs that we have. And then some of that we have anime is another section that we have too as well. One thing that you'll always see, you'll never see an item that is for Marvel and inside of the Lucas area. That's something that you kind of see at Disney as well. You'll never see Anastasia in where Minnie Mouse should be. It's just something that all of the licensings request. It's something to keep that distinct of those licensing. In 2019, we opened up a second store down in Hollywood. That place is even bigger than the one that we have down in Everett. That currently is 40,000 square feet. In there, you can have, you have the space, it's life-size statues and also movie sets. So again, you're gonna have stuff for Stranger Things. It's all Stranger Things. You have the cereal brands that you could sit into a big bowl of cereal next to Captain Crunch. Everything that we have there is basically interactions that you can with your kids and with the adults. But I can tell you right now, we see more adults than we see children. The productions for our designs for FunkO headquarters in the United States, new figures are designed and input from licensors. We actually we're one of the most companies that has the most licensing in the world. We have over 1,100 and it keeps on growing. can range from music, history, Disney, Marvel. Lucas is a big one. Who's not a Star Wars fan? We can go from your General Mills, and then we have our own IPs that we do as well. A lot of the big item for kids is the Wetmore. That is little giants and little monsters that have little snaggletooths and stuffed animals. We have interactions of books that they can read. But that is something that is our own IP. We hired a author and they came in and they did the books, and then that's something that we started from beginning to finish. Our product lines can range from, so we can have a regular pot that is the normal size, but then we also have what is called a chase. Do you guys remember when you guys were little kids and you had those little toys in the cereal boxes and you had that 1 in 50 to find that one item? That's a chase. So it will be a same model of the pot, but something a little bit different. So it's a rare item. You have a chance of 1 in 36. Those items you won't know until you open up that box. Our pickers, they don't know what's inside of them. They will fully grab them and then they'll just go ahead and deliver. So it's just opening up, are you going to get that item that's going to be worth money? Because again, these are not actual toys. I thought they were toys. These are collector's items, and I'll go over some pricing of some items that go for, you'll be surprised on some of the items. One of the things that's nice about FunkO is we actually employ 550 people in Washington State. And that is growing. That is currently, we had more before COVID. We actually, a lot of people, we had to lay off during COVID when we were in the phase 1 because we didn't have in-person, we didn't know anything that was going on. But then a couple weeks later, we got a call that says, we need you guys to go back to work. You're clogging our ports. So because it takes about 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, the time that our items come in overseas. So we had all these ships that were coming over from the ports, and then what happened was it was clogged. So we couldn't get food in, we couldn't do any of that. So we went back to a skeleton crew, that way we were deemed essential. And then they had that working out. And then we also, so that we didn't clog up our inventory, we still allowed our D2C, which is our online purchasing. During COVID, we did struggle a little bit at the very beginning, but we've grown so much and adapted during the COVID that we've actually had our best earnings that we've ever had this quarter. You had to change with what the times are right now. So one of the lines is a chase, and that was the 1 in 36. We also have Dorbs. We no longer offer Dorbs. Dorbs are kind of a fat is the best way I could, chubby cheeks, bigger head, smaller body. It was something that was more for the adults, but they seemed to not like that portion of it. So we stopped making that item. The other one that we have is the mystery minis. Those are what my kids love, at least my daughter. Those are the items, they're a lower price point. We sell them for about $5. And again, it's 1 in 36 that you can get this item, 1 in 56 you can get this item. You don't know what you're getting until you open up the box. That's the part of, of getting our customers to come back for more. And so that is one of our items that is pretty much quickly outside of, as soon as we put it down in our store, it's gone. People will try to buy by the box load. So another one that we do is convention exclusives. Everybody been to a Comic-Con before? She has, okay. Who doesn't like to dress up and have fun? So our current conventions exclusives, those are items that we plan a year ahead of time. We'll speak with our licensing to find out who wants to be a part of that, that event and what items that they would want. And then we will go ahead and set forth. So the time that we start our process, it could take about 7 weeks for our creative to get approval through our licensing every step of the way. So it can be from just the body frame, they did not like it, and we have to start from scratch. Every step of the way, our licensing has to approve it, or we cannot put it out in the market. So one of the exclusives, the cons that we go to is we do New York, San Diego, Emerald, Star Wars Celebration, and then we also do San Diego Comic-Con, which started in 2006. We also put on our own con, which is called Fun Days. That started out with Mike Becker and Brian Mariotti. That is something that is usually a couple of days after San Diego. It's pretty much a whole week event that they have. There's people who will fly from all over the world to go to these. We have our die-hard fans. We have people that are in the Philippines that come to every single event that we have. Hawaii, every single time my social team goes to an event, they have these die-hard Hawaiian fans that will bring them those chocolate macadamia nuts. And I get so angry because they bring them back into the office and it's there for all of us to eat. So it's just boxes and boxes. But we definitely have our die-hard fans. You also will probably see the people at 6 a.m. in the morning at the store sitting out there lining around. Those are actually a lot of people. They will buy the product and then sell it for a higher pricing online. So they're actually making a living on us as well. So it's all kind of a connection from how many jobs that we employ, how many jobs that we also employ within the community as well. Another line that we just announced is called Gold. It's not been released yet, but we just announced it. That will feature our iconic musicians and star athletes from the NFL and NBA. Another one that we have that just came out, it was announced last year during February, during Toy Fair, is our vinyl. So our vinyl will be from the old style musicians' kits, and then they'll have their pop, and then they'll have, inside of this clear box will be the album in the back of it. So it's a really nice collector's item. And another one that we started to do was, again, a lot of it is, FunkO, I think, is a lot for adults, but we do have a lot for children. And one of the items that we thought that we can bring to the market is Snapsies. So that one came and released in November of this year during COVID. What it is we have different animals that you can snap their heads off of their bodies or their tails or their feet. So you can have a unicorn on a mermaid. So they interchange. So it's kind of neat because they can do their own animals. They can use their imagination. But again, it comes in a capsule, so they don't know what they're getting until they open it up. So my daughter, when she wants to come to my work, it's not to come to visit me. It's to go to the store. So those price items we sell for about $10. And you could easily walk out quickly with, $50 out of your pocket, and she has the same items, but she's got to go back and she's got to get more. But it's neat to see them to use their imagination. So that was one of the things that's actually a toy item. Most of our other items are collector's items. Another here. So any of you guys seen the pricing of what some of these FunkO Pops can go for? So my husband, he's a collector. I was like, you're a hoarder. And he's like, no, I'm a collector. And I'm like, that's a thin line. But so if you like your baseball cards, some of these items can go for the pricing of baseball cards. So a Clockwork Orange Chase went for $13,390 for a $10 item. The Golden Ticket 2-pack, which is for the Willy Wonka, went for $14,999. The Freddie FunkO Jamie Lannister went over for $12,000. So these items are, when we send, our marketing portion of it is some of the SKUs, we're gonna have a limited item because we want those to be worth money. We want them to be able to collect them, and it also gives them the chatting of where's this item at? They're locating it. So our SKUs can go from 500 up to 50,000, just depending on what we think would be as a marketplace. It also depends on the licensor as well. Our licensors, they have a lot of input. We have to make sure that they agree with everything that we put out, including putting something on social media. They have to approve all of those. So it's a long process for it. During the time since FunkO, we've acquired quite a few businesses. FunkO Games in 2019 in February, we acquired Forest Cruzon Creative. I didn't know Seattle had a board game company. Andrew Perlmutter, who is our president, he comes from a board game background. So he acquired them, and so we started FunkO Games. So a lot of people, some of those products are coming in. I know there's a game store here in Lake Stevens. I went in there the other day and they actually had a lot of our products. One of the things with FunkOverse is kind of neat is you can have Wonder Woman interact with the Golden Girl on the game. So you can have Wonder Woman fighting the Golden Girl. So those are interchangeable. We also just announced yesterday a Goonies. We are very 80s, 90s, classic. You walk into Brian's office and he's got the old school Batmans lined up. I mean, it's just a classic atmosphere. Another one that we acquired is Loungefly. Who's all been to Disneyland? Disney World? The little backpacks and the ears that you see, that is Loungefly. So we're in all of the parks, including Universal, Six Flags as well. We're on cruise lines. So one of the things that's nice is with FunkO is it's also for women and men, but also we have our purses. So I brought some samples. So some of the neat things about the purses is, I wish I would have brought a couple more. Some of them will be like a normal purse, but it has just a hint of Star Wars, a hint of Harry Potter. And that is the one thing that will go, far for just the people who are not avid fans, but then also that just want a little bit of that touch and like that purse. So our pops can range from different sizes. We have the small ones, we have the 10 inches, and I was gonna bring the 18-inch, but my husband would have killed me. It says Batman. And so it just ranges. They can range from $10 up to $100. We have a lot of exclusives through GameStop, Barnes and Nobles. Yes, there's still Barnes and Nobles around there. And then we have FYE, Amazon. We have a lot of a contract with them as well. So inside, on top of the Everett store, we also have our distribution center. So it's over there in Hardison Way. We have several buildings. I never realized how big our distribution center was. We have about 6 buildings there. We're running low. So FunkO does have a lot of commercial assets here. We want to stay here. They are from Washington State. Brian, he went to, I believe it's Stanwood High School, and Mike also was Snohomish High School. So these are people who started out of their garage and made a huge, huge company. Another thing that we are in the process of doing is also animation. So a lot of people, we released a game called Battle World, which is with Marvel. And so we've been doing animation with them as well for their cartoons. So we're starting to get into that line of the cartoons as well. So financial-wise, for Washington base for the lifestyle products reported a 38% spike in net sales to $189.2 million in our first quarter of 2021 versus the $136.7 million during the same period last year. So during COVID, we grew. One of the things that we had to do during COVID was up our game on online services. It was something that we were slowly getting into, but it definitely has grown since then. our stocks around, I was kind of looking at the pricing of our stocks before when we did the shutdown. We were at around $6 a share. Because COVID hit, everyone's kind of stocks kind of died down a little bit. We're at $25 a share this morning. So FunkO last announced its quarterly earnings March 11th. We reported a 29 cents earnings per share for the quarter, beating analysts at 8 cents. They thought we were going to have 8 cents per share, so we beat them by 21 cents more. So here's the fun part. So the rumors, some people have asked, do you guys have slides in your building? Yes, we do. We have slides that go from each floor that will go down, and they go fast. So we have an arcade downstairs. We also have a bowling alley downstairs. The reason why I mention that is I used to work for a telecommunication company for 15 years. I came to work and I just left. I just did my job. FunkO is a small business. It's still a big business. We've kept it small. I could walk through the halls of the building and they will know my name within a week of me working there. Andrew or Brian are, president and CEO, they know my name. They treat their employees amazingly. They also know work can't just be hard work, it can be fun and play. And that was one of the things that they make sure that atmosphere goes. It's a cultural thing. It's a little bit different from coming from a corporate company. I was just a number. And going into a place where different styles, this culture, people can be wearing different clothes. Everyone is the same person coming through. It's just something that I think really shows in the work, hard work, and the fun, and the joy of working for a company that they advanced completely from being just growing so quickly and being just a number. Any questions?
So your store, open 5 days a week, 7 days a week?
So currently, we are open Wednesday through Sunday. We are open at 11 o'clock until 6 o'clock during the week. On the weekends, we open up at 10, and I think it's until 7. We might expand our hours, but the problem that we have is Monday and Tuesday is when we get our inventory in, and we just have to, it goes through inventory so quickly. But also we had to change due to COVID because, you had to cut back some of your hours because you can't have a certain amount of people coming in. So our revenue goes down. So with our operation costs, we wanted to cut down the hours a little bit. And then that way we can have only a certain amount of people in the building as well.
My 30-something kids are going to want to go in and check that out.
Yeah, my best recommendation is don't go first thing in the morning. And the reason why is because you will have a line around the whole building. Especially if we're launching exclusives, unless you want to get to be that diehard people that are there at 5 a.m. in the morning in the snow. I mean, they'll put the little chair up. We had to put signs up. There was no sleeping and camping out. We really work with the city of Everett as well. We're trying to help out with some of the homeless situation as well. Our charity that we've done, just with Toys for Tots last year, we donated over $500,000 worth of products for Toys for Tots. We also do a lot of charity. We do sponsorship. We do stuff with schools. We do, this last summer, I did the Operation Homefront for the military. So I helped out. We sent out pops. We also donated backpacks. All of our backpacks are actually pretty amazing. I wish I would have brought my backpack so it actually has especially with all the kids now carrying laptops for school, it actually has a slide-in for the laptops, and they're very durable. And those, we have all types of licensing for that as well.
I'm not a collector. I'm curious, do you need to leave the toy or the collectible in the box to get full value?
Yes, and you'll find people that are looking for the mint condition. So some of the items that we have, and here, I'll grab one real quick. So we started actually selling some of our items that are going to be exclusives. That's going to be a hot item in the actual box. So this one is a Target exclusive. It's only available at Target. You can find them at our store down below. We only get a certain percentage that comes from it, or you have to find it at Target. So because we don't want the corners to be dented, some of the items that are a lower SKU, we're gonna sell them in these plastic containers, and the price point goes up a little bit, but it's to protect it. You will find people that will literally look through each and single one. I brought my nephew with, they were in from Oklahoma, and he was trying to pick up, I mean, he's 6 years old. And so he went for a big Pikachu that's like the 18-inch, and he's like trying to carry the box. I'm freaking out because if that box fell, it would be damaged. We can't sell it. So those items that we do, we donate. We're not going to just destroy it, things like that. There's a kid that would love it. My kids, they open it up. My husband doesn't know I brought some of my items, so I'll have to sneak them back in. But yeah, it's everything. You'll have your mint items. There's some items that will also come like in backpacks, like a Star Wars Boba Fett for this one. It wasn't for Target. I think it was an Amazon exclusive. Don't quote me on that. But it came with the backpack as well, and that was going over $2,000. And it was just released a couple months ago. You can't find it right now. I've kind of been Googling and seeing where their price points are, because I found one in our storage area that I had put away, and so we're doing it as a price. I was kind of looking, and that was the last price point, was sold for $2,000 on eBay, but there was nothing selling online.
Can you buy a Tesla with those?
No, but who knows in the future? We're looking at, there's so much that changes. We're looking at NFT stuff. We're looking at just, the market is changing constantly. And that's the one thing that you have to be open to with changes, especially small businesses, is if you can't format to the small business, then unfortunately, you'll kind of stay where you're at.
Yeah, I worked down at Everett quite a bit on different things, and there's always a line around the building, I guess, new releases and things like that. I've known people that I've been in their house, they've taken a bedroom and put shelves, and it's from ceiling to floor, all those things over there, all the way around. I'm just like, amazed. In the box, yeah, don't touch them.
Yeah, that's the first thing my daughter does, is takes it right out of the box, and my husband's like, just, you know, just like, and I was like, it's fine, just let her be, just let her have her stuff. But yeah, it just depends. We're coming out with some of like the old items like Barbies. I mean, we're very into the classics of the 50s. I did bring everybody something as well down below. I've got Pokemon ones that you guys, Pokemon is a hot item right now. So you can take home if you want, or for your kids or grandkids, or more than welcome to. Just not the stuff on the top. My husband will kill me. Any other questions?
So many characters that we don't know. We're used to Bullwinkle and.
We have Bullwinkle. We have, we have Bullwinkle. Yeah. Another thing that too is a really good, if you want more information, is actually Netflix has a Making the Fun story of FunkO online that they do it. We're in the process of doing another one. But yeah, we're in the process. The Making the Fun is great. It has our creative, head of creative, Ben's on there, Brian's on there, and Mike. And it's just kind of neat to see how much they've grown, because these guys kind of started all out together, and they're just the best of friends, and they're doing what they love. All right, well, thank you for having me. And I will have some for you guys down there, and I'll leave some for people that are online too.
Awesome, thank you. And Lori, we'll be making a $25 gift donation to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library in your name, and typically we have a certificate, but that's another thing I forgot today. So find me next time, David. He can't hear me anyway, so we're good. Well, I was wondering, Chris, if Steamboat Willie was the doll that you had when you were a kid, or a toy. 19.
Really? Yeah. I have quite a few of those.
Yeah, you're wealthy. Okay, well, Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. Great meeting. Great to be back in person. We're back, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody. Bye, all my online friends.
Bye.
Get my Pokemon.
Yeah, my son. My oldest son has a bunch of them in his room.
And I have